Oh, you also have the hot dog.
The varsity?
Varsity is like
Disgusting.
that's ridiculous.
I agree. I'm a vegetarian. I've never had a hot dog, so I can't
Varsity
talk.
is disgusting.
The varsity is, I wouldn't call it disgusting. I would call it overrated.
Okay, first of all, why did you try to? You were gonna defend varsity. You had to change it.
Coach Ludwig, raise your hand for me. You got a question?
How's everybody today? Well, look, the first thing, it was great to see our players happy and excited to be celebrating a win, a really good win for them. After getting behind in the game 17-7, to come back and sort of play the way we're capable of playing and do things with sort of a relentless competitive sort of spirit and enthusiasm and togetherness as a team, I think was great. And it was, really good to see the players happy, excited, and celebrating because they were happy that they had put something in something and got up with a result. And reviewing the film, obviously, I think that we always have to be able to focus on taking advantage of opportunities that we have. We also have to focus on making sure that we learn the lessons of things that we do that actually help the other team have opportunities in the game as well. So those are all lessons to be learned. I think the focus needs to be on our team, what our team needs to do to each individual on our team and each unit on our team. What do we need to do to improve? What do we need to do to try to do a better job with consistency and execution in terms of what we do as coaches, as well as how we get the players to stay focused so that we can execute with more consistency. Great to see Byron Young, SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week. He had a heck of a game. Will Reichert made some real key clutch kicks in the game. It's great for those guys to get recognized. Austin Pay, Scotty Walden does a really, really good job there. For FCS, these guys are ranked, in the top part of their division and just about everything they do. They're really good on defense. They got one of the top 10 defenses. They average 450 yards a game on offense with a lot of balance. Quarterback does a really good job with them. Number 10, McCray, is a really explosive player that they do a good job of utilizing his talents. They got good returner. Look, we need to prepare for this game like any other game that we play. We need to be ready to play well. They have enough people on their team to be able to take advantage of any lack of execution, and certainly we want to focus on us being able to execute, in a really positive way and try to build on the momentum of, having a good second half and improving to finish the season.
We'll start over here on the right with Charlie.
Yeah, Coach, you've talked throughout the season about the emphasis placed on turnovers. Is there something maybe you can pinpoint as a reason you guys have had so few of those this season?
I can't. It comes down to player awareness. It comes down to player focus. It comes down to, on defense, you got to be physical. When you're physical, you knock the ball off of people. When you have good cleanup, which means a lot of guys are getting to the ball, second guy in has a chance to take a shot at the ball. All these things are things that we emphasize, and we actually did better in this last game, but only got the result of one turnover. Had another chance to intercept the ball and didn't make the catch, but we just got to keep harping on it and keep working on it with our players to work on how do you get the ball out, when do you take shots at it, and try to do it better, because this is something that has a significant impact on games, and we need to do a better job in that regard.
Left middle with Michael.
How do you describe the vision and the footwork of Bryce Young in the pocket when the protection breaks down and he has to make things happen?
Well, we had 3 or 4 of our explosive plays, in the game where, whatever you want to call him, moving in the pocket, making people miss in the pocket. He's deceptively quick. to make people miss, especially if they're coming at him out of control. But he does a fantastic job of having a feel in the pocket of when he needs to do it, and he's very good at doing it. And his ability to extend plays, and then our receivers have done a really good job when he does scramble, of applying scramble rules to get where they need to get, so they have an opportunity to make themselves available for the ball. So that was good for us in the game. I mean, I think we made 3 or 4 big plays on that kind of thing.
Up front, Nick Kelly.
What would you say is the next step in Ja'Cory Brooks' development?
Ja'Cory Brooks has played really well for us. Guy's a dog. He plays great on special teams. He'll block. He's physical. Plays hard all the time. Makes contested catches. I mean, just, I'm sure that if you ask him, there's always things that you can improve on, whether it's releases, separating at the top of the break, whatever. And I'm sure there's things that he can improve on, but he's one of the guys on our team that I think is a great competitor who has really played consistently all year long for us.
Left side with Katie.
Coach Brian Branch obviously had the stop on the 4th down play, but just kind of what kind of weapon has he been in the defensive backfield all season, and just kind of his versatility?
Brian Branch is he's a very versatile player. He's got good cover skills. He's physical. He's a good blitzer. For the most part, he's a good tackler. Although on the long run at the end of the game, he missed the tackle. But I think he's a really, really good competitor. And his versatility as a player, playing star, playing safety, playing money, is, it's. If you don't have a few guys like that on your team, then you don't have any diversity in what you can do on defense. So, and I think he's played extremely well for us and very consistently all year long.
Back with Carrie.
Hi, Coach. When some of those end-of-season goals are off the table, what's the biggest challenge in getting your team to play with that same consistency and intensity throughout the end of the season?
Well, I think it comes down to a lot of the things that we talked about last week in terms of, are you going to define your identity as a football player and as a football team, or are you going to let other people do it? And being the best that you can be as a player, taking some of the things that have happened to us personally in terms of your pride as a competitor and the consistency in our performance are all things that, if you are a competitor, you're going to respond. And I think our players did that in this game. Now, the challenge is are we going to continue it to finish the season?
Up front here with Tony.
What did you see from Terry and Arnold kind of stepping in for Eli against Ole Miss, and just what have you, his ability to kind of just do that off the bench?
Well, I mean, you saw the game. I think Terry Arnold plays really well when he plays with good technique. I think when he has bad habits in his technique, which I'm not going to get into specifically, he allows the other guy to, take advantage of him on release and doesn't always put him in a great position to play the ball. But he actually played better as the game went on. The guy has been a starter for us for, half the season. So he's got experience. He should be able to go out there and play with confidence, and we have confidence in him. But I also think he's got to stay focused on doing things correctly, because it helps him be able to put himself in the best position.
2 more. Start with Mike Rodak.
We saw Tyler Harrell get into the game briefly on Saturday. Just where does he stand with his health and just his comfort level with the offense?
Yeah, well, he's learning. He's healthy now. He's learning. He's getting lots of reps. Guy's got really good speed, which I think would help us on offense. And I think, we need to, find ways to try to, use him in certain situations that can be helpful to giving us some explosive vertical plays down the field, which there's, been a lack of recently. And, he's making really good progress.
Go to Joey. Finish up over there.
Hey, Coach. You talked last week on Hey, Coach about unsung heroes, and you mentioned guys specifically like Byron Young and Kendrick Law. Not necessarily those guys specifically, but in general, how important are guys like that contribute to the team that don't necessarily share the same spotlight?
I think it's important to have a whole team of guys like that. I think if everybody's putting the team first and want to do what they can do to help develop themselves so that they create value for their future and opportunities in their future, as well as whatever their role is on the team, do it the best you can do it so the team has the best chance to sort of develop the kind of personality as well as the intangibles that you need to be a great competitor. And look, there's a lot of distractions out there, and guys have to choose to focus on the right thing. Can't worry about all the stuff, you've heard me talk about it before, external noise, rat poison, whatever you want to talk, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. When you step on the field to compete, you need to be focused on what you need to do to play the best you can to dominate your box against whatever the challenge is, whether you're an offensive lineman, a defensive back, a linebacker, it doesn't matter. And that's a challenge. It's more challenging now than it's ever been before. But it's important for guys that aren't starters on your team, don't even know if they're going to play, to get ready to play so they can take advantage of the opportunity when they do play. Because those opportunities will come at some point, and sometimes it's when you least expect them. And some of the young guys on our team have done a much better job of that this year than I thought some of the guys did in years past. All right, thank you.
When they got the mic, I was like, I was like, no, I was like, I did not raise my hand. I was just like,